Boys, I'm coming at you live right after UFC 315, and all I have to say is, Belal ruined the sport. What do you mean we're not going to be able to see Ilya versus Islam? I'm not going to be able to see Islam get flatlined? I had Ilya round 2 KO TKO. Belal, you ruined the sport. The whole MMA community was praying that you had this W. JDM's last 2 opponents were Gilbert Burns and Kevin Holland. I was preaching it all week. You cannot be serious, Belal. You were leaking. By the time round 2 started, Belal, your nose was running. You were eating knees. But you guys can't say Belal's boring anymore. He sat there and scrapped it out. He dogged it out. But Belal, I think you only won one round. I think you only won one round. JDM's takedown defense was nasty, though. Belal, have you ever watched a Marab fight? Have you ever watched a Marab fight? That's kind of all we needed you to do. Was spam the takedowns, throw some strikes in there, and spam the takedowns even some more. You were getting emoted on in that octagon. JDM hit you with the "you can't see me." All right, he spun around. We can't be for real. JDM was watching Marab highlights in the back. That's what you should have been doing. I cannot believe we're not going to be able to see Islam versus Ilya. I cannot. That was the match of the decade. We're never going to get Aspinall versus Jones. We're never getting Aspinall versus Jones. This was the only mega fight that was like potentially in our grasp. Ilya versus Islam. And because of Belal Muhammad, we will never get that. We will never get Ilya versus Islam. Islam's going to be running away from Ilya for the end of time. Islam posted on his Twitter the other day, hey, even if Belal loses, I'm not going to vacate my belt. What does that mean? You're still moving up. You're going to hold the weight class hostage. Now Ilya's going to have to kill Charles Oliveira. I did not want to see Ilya kill Charles Oliveira. Oh my God. Belal, the butterfly effect is just so insane. It's so insane. Because if Belal won, all Belal had to do was just fight the way he normally fought. He wanted to be cocky and sit here and say he has Canelo hands and fight JDM standing up like he's Mike Tyson. Belal, use your you go to Dagestan regularly. I'm so disappointed in Belal Muhammad. So disappointed. Why were you not spamming takedowns? You were 3-9. 3-9 for takedowns. The strikes were very close, though. The strikes were very close. Belal, you definitely did your thing, though. Listen, I wouldn't be ragging on Belal this hard if there wasn't a fucking super fight hanging in the potential of Belal winning. Belal, the butterfly effect that you just caused is like insane. You just lost the UFC hundreds of millions of dollars. Not even underestimating. Not even underestimating. But JDM might be the one to do Islam in. JDM, hey, we might have to talk about this a little bit later, but JDM might be the one to do Islam in. JDM was looking good in there. Islam's obviously going to be smaller than Belal because Islam's the natural 155er. Belal's at 170. Belal trains with Islam and Habib and them, so he basically adopted the Dagestani way of fighting, the cage holding and the knee, the foot twisting, things like that. So you already have a little bit of experience in fighting somebody with that style. JDM's takedown defense is great. He was looking great in the scramble. His hands are on point. He's definitely an amazing striker. He could be the one to do Islam in. I just need somebody to beat Islam. That's what I need. I need somebody to beat Islam. Ilya was the perfect fit. Perfect fit. Legend killer. Knocked Volkanovski off the map. Knocked Max Holloway off the map. I was celebrating. The whole pay-per-view. I thought Belal had this in the bag. I cannot believe this. I cannot. Let's get into this UFC 315 recap, though. I just had to get some initial thoughts. We'll go right back to Belal and JDM. I promise. So, the first fight on the card was Brad Katona versus Bezkat Alamanikan. from Kazakhstan. Listen, we had Brad Katona. I said that, listen, he's from Canada. He's going to start the card off strong for everybody. He's going to get a knockout. Boy, that is not what happened. My boy got slapped. Bang, bang, bang. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Listen, somebody got put on a stretcher in this pay-per-view. The whole time I'm watching this, that's hilarious. So that's the next picture. But the whole time that I'm watching this, by the way, I'm just like, Belal got this in the bag. There's no way that Belal doesn't have this. I just can't get over it. I can't. Oh, I just deleted the UFC tab. I can't get over that Belal did that. I really can't. They already have Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales up. They're just like, get us out of here. The next fight after that was Daniel Santos versus Jiang Yang Li. Daniel Santos looked like he was just in there Muhammad Ali style. He was putting them paws on Jiang Liang Li. I had Jiang Liang Li, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember who I picked for that fight. I might have picked Daniel Santos. I definitely said it was going to be a close one. It was not a close one. Daniel Santos ran away with it. Daniel Santos ran away with it. The ENJ was just making me, hey, trip out. Now, here we go. Somebody got put on a stretcher. Somebody got put on a stretcher. Bruno Silva's skull got caved in today by Marc-Andre Barriou. I told you guys this was going to happen. Everybody on Twitter was saying Bruno Silva has one-tap potential. He has the one-tap potential. He's in there. Mark is bigger. He throws more. He's just way more savage. He's just way more savage. This was Bruno Silva after the fight. Boom. Big ass dent in my boy's skull. Huge dent in my boy's skull. Massive. This was the x-ray that he posted too. That he posted on Instagram afterwards. His skull is done. He's done. He's done. It's over. It's over. I don't even know you could fix that. What do you put, like a metal plate? You put like a metal plate there? There's no way you could fix that, right? You can't put a cast on you can't put a cast on your head. Can't put a cast on your head, boys. But told you guys Mark was going to do my boy dirty. Moving on to the prospect, Navachko Sterling versus Evan Ersling. This definitely deserved fight of the night. This deserved fight of the night. I'm making this video before the press conference, so I didn't even get to see Dana White say anything or whoever's going to be up there. But Navachko Sterling was 8-0 coming into this, or 6-0, whatever. He was definitely undefeated. And Evan is obviously just kind of like a crafty veteran. He's been in here. He's been squabbling up. Navachko did his thing. Evan just has a chin. He has a chin. He was walking through things. He was not going to bed at all. He definitely fell on his face a few times. Where is it? Oh, okay. I lost it. But he definitely fell on his face, like flat on his face, once or twice. I can't believe they didn't stop that fight. It was kind of a beating in the third round, but Evan's an animal. Both of these dudes are savages. Give Navachko Sterling a ranked opponent, please. Light heavyweights rankings are so, like, just flimsy. Nobody's even in there. I'm slurring my words. I've been drinking a lot. I thought Belal, hey, I thought I was going to come in here riding a high horse. Islam versus Ilya. I'm going to see the fall of the Dagestanis. Now, we still might see the fall of the Dagestanis, but it's like at 25%. It's legit at 25%. Give Navachko Sterling a ranked opponent, please. Light heavyweights rankings are just like, who's in light heavyweight besides Yuri Prohaska? Like, come on, guys. Come on. Moving on to the weirdest decision I've ever seen. Both of these dudes, a judge scored 30-27 for each of them. It was actually insane. In my opinion, Ian Chutabella ran away with this. Honestly, give Ian Chutabella Navachko Sterling and let them figure it out. They're both in light heavyweight. They're both unranked. Let them squabble it out. But they gave this win to Modestas Bukauskas, who got outstruck by 70 punches? By 70 punches. We can't be for real. Whoever judged 30-27 for Modestas Bukauskas is drinking something stronger than what I'm drinking over here. Hey, at the E-Rock Super Goblin channel. And you need to be escorted away from the octagon if we're being 1,000% for real. I don't know why they allowed this to happen. And
right out.
He went to the back, Modestus Bukauskas, and is baffled at the scorecards and is confused on why they gave it to Ian Chutabella, even though Ian Chutabella outstruck you by about 70 punches, my boy. By about 70 punches. Let's listen to what Modestus Bukauskas had to say after getting his ass whooped.
Uh, I definitely thought I won the fight. I definitely thought I had 2 rounds. When they said 30-27, and then it literally blew my mind. But obviously, you know, when they read the scorecards out, you know it's a split decision. So 30-27, and then they said it's 30-27 again. I was like, these 2 judges, what were they watching? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Like, what? Like, how did anybody how did anybody think that you want to fight? You got punched 70 more times in the face. I mean, it's not a lot of it's not a lot of damage. I mean, Ian Chutabella was kind of leaking a little bit, but still, should be counting punches down there.
And then the last one, 29. That's more reasonable to me. 29-28 to myself. So
no.
I thought it was a little bit baffling. So I was kind of like sitting there a little bit nervous, but in my heart of heart, I definitely felt like I won that fight. So I'm glad that it went my way.
No. It was 29-28. Ian Chutabella, 100%. Then Ian Chutabella sat here and posted on Instagram. They gave me a loss, but I know that I won. The points spoke clearly. The judges didn't. No excuses. No complaints. What a savage. What an animal. Even when the system fails, I don't. I rise. I learn. I fight harder. You can steal a decision, but you'll never break my spirit at UFC. My boy added to UFC. He said, you heard me? You heard me? You're not breaking my spirit. I'm going back in there. Hey. Ian Chutabella, respect. You went out there like an animal. I knew that fight was going to be rough for both those dudes. Kind of amazed that it went to a decision, if we're being for real. I thought this was going to be over in round 1. I thought Ian Chutabella was going to come out there, axe murderer style, and just start swinging. It was going to be a bar fight. But Ian Chutabella won. Ian Chutabella won, and we honestly need to just start respecting the actual outcome of fights and not what the judges say, because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You should be allowed to overturn certain decisions when it's just like outrageous shit like this. But moving on to a women's fight, Jessica Andrade got submitted in the first round. I mean, do you guys really even want me to say anything about this? No, right? Okay. Moving on. Mike Belal versus Charles Radtake. Charles Radtake, you did me filthy. You did me filthy. Listen, I'm still a Charles Radtake fan, but Mike Malott, holy, that is Canada's like next prospect. That dude is a little savage. I don't know who they're gonna give him next in the welterweight. He's definitely gonna get a ranked opponent next, cause pretty sure my boy's on like a 6-fight win streak, something like that. Oh, it doesn't say. It doesn't say. Oh, he's on a 2-fight win streak. Okay, he just lost to Neil Magny, but he's definitely gonna get a ranked opponent next. I thought he was on a win streak for whatever reason, like a 4 or 5-fight win streak. But he did Charles Radtake super bad. It was in the second round, but he was piecing him up honestly the whole time. Look at that, boom. He was literally bouncing Charles Radtake's head against the octagon floor. It was not good. It was not good. It was not good. Kind of a horrible pick from me for picking Charles Radtake. Mike Malott. I did not know that dude had that dog in him. Now I know. We will no longer be betting against Mike Malott on the E-Rock Super Goblin channel. You can count my word in for that. In case, like, in case I want to. Hey, anyways, moving on to, was Benoit next after that? Yeah. Benoit St. Denis versus Kyle Propalik. Listen, for a dude who's minus 1,600 favorite, you did not look like a minus 1,600 favorite. Not even a little bit, not even a tiny bit. Kyle took you to the second round. A dude who hasn't been in the UFC in 4 years, 5 years. He was 0-2 in the UFC. It was just not looking good for anybody. His last fight in the UFC was in 2019, and it took you 2 rounds to take him out. The last time that I saw Benoit Saint Denis, he looked like this. So I assumed, hey, Benoit's going to come out. He's going to have something to show for it. He's going to have to be super duper aggressive and go crazy. But you know me. I'm a hater. I said, listen, Benoit's going to get knocked the fuck out by Kyle. Kyle got this. He's going to knock him out. Going to be super easy. Benoit goes out there, takes my boy 2 rounds to submit somebody who hasn't been in the UFC since 2019. Please, somebody cut Benoit Saint Denis. Moving on to the battle of the baddies. I told you guys to bet on whoever you guys think is the baddest. Natalie Silva obviously takes that by a mile. She did her thing. She was showing shades of Conor McGregor in karate stance, doing her thing, throwing side kicks to the face. She was smashing Alexa Grasso in the face with side kicks. She was looking great. Definitely title shot next for Natalie Silva. Moving on to the biggest robbery. Way bigger than Ian Chutabella. Way bigger. Jose Aldo versus Ayman Zahabi. Ayman Zahabi had George St. Pierre in his corner. Arnold Allen's his friend. Jose Aldo is the champion. The legend. The 2-time champion. The Savage. His last fight, he got robbed against a little asshole named, what was his name? Mario Batista, who just held him against the cage. Now, Ayman Zabi did not hold Jose Aldo against the cage. It was a war. Jose Aldo had the way bigger moments. Zabi was running away from him at points in the fight. I definitely have that clip up here. Zabi was running away from him at points in the fight. And right here, look at this. Look at this sequence. Boom. Soccer kick. Did you see that soccer kick? First of all, that was an illegal strike, if we're being for real. Soccer kick is illegal. Boom. And yeah, both hands on the ground. Soccer kick illegal. Jose Aldo disqualified. But Jose Aldo had the way bigger moments in this fight. Zabi did outstrike him, but come on, give him the win. Give Jose Aldo the win. He's the GOAT. Most title defenses in featherweight history. 5th most title defenses of all time in any male weight class. 2-time featherweight champion. Went undefeated for 9 years. It's crazy how you see how time really treats people, because 20 years ago you could be the shit, you could be the dude, and now 20 years later nobody could give a fuck. They'll spit in your face. So live it up while you have it, boys. Live it up while you have it, because obviously they ripped whatever Jose Aldo had away from him, and they're just robbing him from everything. Now, since they robbed him twice in a row, Jose Aldo sat down and retired from the sport. It was honestly super sad, kind of depressing. Makes you think, if he didn't get robbed, the Zahabi fight and the Mario Batista fight, where would he be? He obviously wouldn't be retiring. He's still kind of on top of his game. I think we do see Jose Aldo return, but probably not in like a year or two. Probably going to be in like 3 or 4 years. And probably not going to be under UFC. He's probably going to be boxing Jake Paul, if we're being for real. If we see Jose Aldo return, he's going to be boxing Jake Paul. He's going to be in Dodson Sports doing some influencer boxing shit. Moving on. Hey, we're getting close. Moving on to the most boring. Listen. Women. I've been saying, give the women their own organization. Please. Why not? WNBA, WNHL. There's no WNFL, but there should be. I mean, there is, but they wrestle in bikini. They play football in bikinis and shit, so it's kind of not for real. But give them the WUFC, please, because they're ruining cards. I shouldn't go from that banger with Jose Aldo and Almin Zabi, where my emotions are running high, because you guys just retired a legend, right? To the most boring fight I've ever seen, ever in life. 9 times out of 10, when it's a women's fight, it's literally the most boring fight you've ever seen, ever in life. And yes, I don't like the French, okay? I don't like the French. The French piss me off. All the French piss me off. Benoit Saint Denis, I hate that guy. Women fighters, listen, I'm not that big of a fan. But if you're French, I'm even more less of a fan. This fight was so ass. I literally almost fell asleep. I woke up hearing whatever nonsense that Belal Muhammad decided to walk out to. So now we're finally here. After 20 minutes, we're finally here, Belal. We're going to finish this. We're finally here. taking baby shots, baby sips. Belal, why? Why? Why couldn't you just follow the game plan? Why couldn't you just follow the game plan? Why couldn't we just take JDM down 5 times around? Hmm? Hmm? Why did you get discouraged when you were 0-4 in takedowns? Who cares? Keep shooting. If you don't hit the first takedown, it's a setup for the second. If you don't hit the second, it's a setup for the third. Therefore, and so on. It changes somebody striking when you keep threatening the level change. Just keep threatening it, and something's going to happen. Please. Why are you giving up after 4 attempts? You're the champion. Like I said earlier in the video, you guys can no longer say Belal Muhammad's a boring guy. He banged it out with JDM. Banged it out. Slugged it out with bro. It was looking pretty ugly. Belal was leaking from the nose. He split himself open when JDM hit him with a knee. That was kind of disgusting. JDM had blood all over his neck and his back because Belal was just kind of like, holding him in guard and shit like that. But, boy, JDM got hands. Listen, I saw his previous fights, but you guys can't blame me. His last 2 opponents are fucking Gilbert Burns and Kevin Holland. I would have a highlight reel on TikTok if I fought Gilbert Burns and Kevin Holland. Come on, let's be real. Let's be for real. Kevin Holland be giving up. Gilbert Burns is 2 fights away from retirement. He barely finished George Masvidal. Okay? Let's be real. Now, Belal, you ruined. You absolutely ruined. That was a burp, by the way. You absolutely ruined Ilya versus Islam. For everybody. For everybody. Because you did not want to take my boy down. Are you being for real? Oh my God. My dreams were ripped away from me. Right in front of me. I was watching my dreams slowly get torn away from me. When Belal walked into the octagon, I said to the homie, I said, yo, we're going to see Belal get chinned, right? That's just kind of what the MMA gods are going to do to us, huh? They're going to dangle Ilya versus Islam in front of us and then rip it away. And that's exactly what they did. That is exactly what they did. I can't believe it. Are we being for real? I will no longer be able to see Ilya get knocked out by... whoa. I will no longer be able to see Islam get knocked out by Ilya. No, this can't be. Listen, JDM has great takedown defense. Great takedown defense. My boy's in there. My boy's in there. Belal Muhammad is bigger than Islam. Belal Muhammad trains with Islam. I think we have a chance. I think we have a chance. Now, is Islam next for JDM? Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, more than likely. Is it going to be International Fight Week next month? No, probably just going to be Ilya Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. But I don't want to see Ilya Topuria kill Charles Oliveira. Who wants to see that? That's fucked. Belal, what's next for you, bro? You know what's next for Belal? Ian Gary. He's going to end up fighting Ian Gary. Because they're going to give Islam JDM next. So Belal's going to fight Ian Gary. Sean Brady's probably going to fight the winner of Joaquin Buckley, Kamaru Usman. And that's how this is going to play out. The welterweight division is just stacked right now. And it's just like, what the fuck? I cannot believe you, Belal Muhammad. What a night. Anyways, your boy was a little tipsy making this, obviously. Been drinking a little bit during the UFC event. Hey, I thought I was going to be riding on a high horse. I am not. What can I say? Anyways, boys. Fuck you, Belal.